In today's video, I am improving our rain collection system. I'm getting more tanks. I'm going through why the older system wasn't working, collecting more rain, and building a more permanent setup for all our rain that we're using for our animals and our farm. The reason why we have a cover over this, so that way it doesn't grow algae in here, because this IBC tote is clear. You can find a cover like this on Amazon. They do have them strictly for IBC totes, which is pretty amazing. But also look at starting to, and then I don't like how it pulls up water right here. It kind of holds water. When I first built this, I put this little gutter system here. It's just you could buy this whole thing, and then just attached it to the top, and then that just kind of snaps in up there. But you know, it's not perfect. When it rains really good, or if there's a good wind, it always usually knocks this down. I can also extend this out more to collect even just that much more water using what I had at the time, and trying to see if this works, seeing if this is really what we want. The time has come. Today we are going to improve our water collection system off our small barn. But first we need to find 2 IBC totes, preferably black. And it's not easy to find black IBC totes. These 2 are 275 gallons each, and they are very clean inside. They almost look brand new, and that's pretty rare to find also. But I know off of this one roof, I can store larger amounts of water. Ooh, digging holes in the summer is different than digging holes in the winter. Different animal. Of course, where I want to put this pole, there's a giant root in the way. Man, I think this is a huge root. It's from like here to here, and then it goes down further here. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be getting that out anytime soon, so maybe one day I'll get a tractor and then I'll redo my whole farm. Luckily, the structure I'm building is just for water, so maybe I'll just leave it kind of shallow and throw some concrete in there. There were some trees right here when we first moved in on this side. There are trees growing into this barn, and we took out a lot of them. So I imagine that's where that root's coming from. Ooh boy, sweating to the oldies. It's nice when the clouds go over the sun. When it's cloudy, it's actually really nice. But once that sun comes out, man. All right, after about a few days, you know, the heat really slowed me down on this project. But the concrete's dry. Hopefully all 6 poles are straight. Why I'm doing the poles instead of the block that I had, which that worked. It's not even right here, and I don't have an excavator. Or if I had some kind of you know, tractor or something, I would probably just try to make this level and then continue to use the block. But so I want this platform to be at least taller than a 5-gallon bucket, because we're going to put the bucket underneath it, turn it on, fill it up with water, and then maybe even make it a little bit higher, so that way hopefully maybe you don't have to bend down so much and turn the handle. Speed square with circular saw, the best combo for building stuff. Clamps, farmer's friend. Looks straight. I'm just going around making a box. I need 96 3/4. 96 3/4. Let's check this bad boy out. 96, just under 3/4. Look at that. I don't even have to cut that one. I'm just putting in one screw on the corners just to prop it up, make sure that's where I want it. So now we have to make hard decisions. Do we want the planks to run this way, long ways, or do we want them to run this way, short ways? Well, you kind of look to see what lumber you have at the moment, and of course you want to use as much of the scraps as possible. And we of course have all the shorties. Maybe run 2 on this end and then run another one there, so that way we could put the planks long ways going across. I think we're good as far as level and where I want this at, so we're gonna finish it off. The ends, I'm not just gonna use these screws. I'm using something a little bit more heavy duty, like these timber locks. Just something a little bit more robust, because these ones hold, so I think it's about 220 pounds, because we're going to put a lot of weight on this once these 2 IBC totes are full. I like using the battery powered saw better for this type of thing. It's just more, it's less fussy. I mean, it's pretty powerful. There's no pull start. You don't have to sit there pulling it to start it. You just pop in the battery and go. So I think this is pretty solid base here. I'm gonna do some 2x6s. Initially I was gonna do some 1x6s, but I figured the 2x6s, they're gonna be more heavy duty. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of water in here. It's gonna be heavy. I did not make this perfect. If I was perfect, these would have been 8 foot long, but I'm a little over 8 feet, so now I had to buy 10 footers and I have to cut them off. I'm just trying to make it all even. I ran out of 2x6s, so I'm going to use these 2x4s that I have. Could use a spacer kind of guide to guide you, but if it's not perfect, you just lay down all the material and then you kind of just eyeball it. You know, it's just going to hold water. It's not, you know, not building a house here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that humidity just dropped down, man. That feels so nice. Like a breeze, almost feels like the beach. Well, in my mind at least, it feels like the beach. So now we have a good overhang. So we're gonna just cut that to length. I'm gonna continue to have an overhang. All right, feels sturdy to me. We're almost done, guys. We're almost. Platform's pretty much done. I need to extend the gutter out that way. You know, last time I just tried to be cheap. I didn't feel like buying another piece of metal gutter, but this time I guess I feel like doing it. I need to pick up some pipe. I'm taking you guys shopping today. Five foot is $22, but then if you get the 10 foot, it's $25. It would probably be best to get the 10 foot. I'm gonna put this end cap on before I install it up high. I think it'll make it easier. We are getting so close to finishing this up. We still need to do an overflow where we connect the two, And then also I want to do like an outlet for them. It's for that way we can use the water. We're going to be using this leaf eater. This is going to be collecting the rainwater when it initially comes in. I have this same leaf eater up on top of our hill for our 1,000-gallon rain tank, which I like it. It works well. It catches all the debris in the leaves that come in. This is a mesh screen. Now we need to hang that leaf eater up down underneath this spout, and so that means we need to add wood to drill into, to grab onto, so that way it can hang. I have these scrap 2x6s. Also, having some kind of backing for it to kind of lean on is helpful. We're going to use 3-inch PVC pipe for the main gutter spout. But I need to cut it to length. It's always tricky using a circular saw on a pipe or something round, but I think it's pretty straight. I'm going to clean it out first. Clean that side. I already dry fitted everything, so hopefully we should be good. Because it's not going to be straight, this is going to be kind of slanted sitting on there. I'm marked with the marker where I want it, because if it's a little off, it's going to be too crooked where I want it. Same thing with this other side. I marked at the end there, so that way I could just match up the two marks. So for this plastic pipe, it's not really meant to be just sitting outside in the sun and the elements. So what I like to do is paint this. I'm going to paint it white just to get a little bit more weather protection from the UV. But you could probably just leave it like this, and it will last a while. But I just like to add a little protection. This is the lid where the water is going to come in. I don't want to cut off my hand, so let's screw this back on, see if this works. It worked. There we go. Just gotta clean that out in there. I'll probably flush it out on the first rain. Jeez, it really tightened it. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that angle, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, we're almost there. This is the old window screen trick. We switched out our windows and I kept the window screens. It's this stuff. This stuff is what I want. Not for windows, but for stuff like this. This screen stuff can be expensive, which is wild to me, but it is. And so it's great as a filter for water. Keeps the mosquitoes out. Keeps the debris out. You can use old pantyhose. Who uses pantyhoses? Do they even sell that stuff anymore? So we have the leaf eater that's going to be a filter. We have this netting that's going to be a filter. And I like to use fancy zip ties. And then you get your top, screw that on. This pipe is kind of dry. So that fits snuggy boy in here, snuggy boy. Let me show you what I did here. So stuff like this, on this part I didn't glue it to the leaf gutter because I feel like it should be somewhat semi-permanent. In case it breaks, in case we need to clean this out, I can just pop this off. So I have this metal strapping that this is going to help, because if I just didn't put this metal strapping, then this would probably fall down because it's not glued in. So with this metal strapping, I could take this strapping off and then pop this off and clean it out if it needs to, or who knows, switch it out, you know, add to it, whatever I need to do. But it's snug in there for now, and it's not gonna move in the wind, as long as it's not level. Don't want it level. It's about 4 degrees, so I think we're good here. I guess I could have made this a little bit shorter, the platform, but I think that's gonna do the trick here. And now the next step is waiting for the rain. Wow, look at that. Clouds are coming. Wind. I think we're gonna get poured on right now. And then one thing I do love is this little spout right here, this little thingamajig. I like it because it's a 90, and this fits, I believe this is like a 2-inch. Look at that. We got flow, we got flow. We did get some decent rain only last night, and we're looking at about 100 gallons. The next step is I need to hook these two together. But my local hardware store does not have the connections that I need. I wanted to hook these two up with a PVC pipe or something, and then so that way when this overflows, it goes into this, and it doesn't have this connection for these. So I ordered it online, but that's gonna be another video. If I ever open up my own homestead general store, I'll definitely be carrying these connections. But that's it, guys. We're saving 550 gallons total. Well, right now it's only 275. Waiting for those connections. We'll do another video of me setting this up, connecting the two. But for the most part, it's done. I have plans for this one at our another barn where I want to gravity feed some rainwater off of that roof into our orchard and apple trees and fruit trees, because right now we don't have anything watering them. These totes are black. They're not going to grow algae on them, and they're more cleaner than this older tote that I have. So that's why we switched them out. I feel more safer watering our animals drinking this water, even for our gardens if we need to. But you know, maybe the next step I think would be to put a pump on this thing so we could pump some water out. I did not put a first flush on this thing because research that I've done, I've seen that or noticed where people said they're more trouble than what they're worth. So I chose not to do one. I don't have one up there on top of our property. It seems to be doing fine. Saving the rain like this works, and it's been working for us the past couple of years. Saving the 1,000 gallons up there, saving this one down here. It works. So thank you guys for being here. This was a long video, but I'm glad we finally got this done and I could check that off the list. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.